let's bring in Nandita Das as well, actor, who has certainly set her own standards in all sphere. So Nandita Das, how do you view this debate on colorism in India, something which has been there, we have debated it in the past, but perhaps when a chief secretary of a state talks about it and shares her own experiences, then it assumes different proportion.
Well, I mean, it's been there for, forever and ever. So it's not something new. This is neither the first or the last time such an incident is happening. It's just that when somebody in power, with the fact that she spoke up, which is fantastic, so it's suddenly become a cause for this conversation. It will die down when something else will come. And in the meantime, many, many young girls, women will continue to suffer because we are basically, so quick at judging. We are deeply prejudiced. We live in a patriarchal system where anyway to be a woman, there are so many burdens that we are sort of bogged down with. And moreover, the color of your skin. I joined this campaign called Dark is Beautiful in about 2013. I didn't even think before that it merited a sort of a standalone attention, and I was completely wrong, because this campaign that was going on for a while, and then it just probably needed a face, because many of the actors also have progressively become lighter and lighter with every film. So, and I realized that the campaign had touched a raw nerve, because so many young women would come up to me and say, I feel seen. I feel like it's okay to be dark. How we are completely diminishing their sense of self. We don't even realize it. For an identity that we have done nothing about it. We have just born into it. I'm born with this nose, this hair, this color of my skin. And if I'm constantly being reminded, I remember when I started acting, every article of mine would start with dark and dusky Nandita Das, as if you had to qualify first, your color of your skin. And when I play a slum dweller or a village woman, then it would be fine. But the minute I would play an educated, slightly affluent character, they would tell me, please, I know you don't like putting makeup, but can you become lighter? Because then the people won't accept a darker person who is of this class. So, we create a standardized sense of beauty, and then we keep reinforcing, and that reinforcement is all around us. Look at our magazines, our hoardings, our films, our anchors, sorry, no offense meant, but largely we are just seeing light-skinned women in a country that is full of various shades of brown. So we have brought it upon us. Now we have to find ways, and the more we speak about it, hopefully, step by step, we will be going in the right direction.
But Nandita, since you're talking about that campaign, Black is Beautiful.
Dark is Beautiful.
Dark is Beautiful. And, Ms. Muralidharan has beautifully described black. She said, and that sounds really, really beautiful. So, do you think that women who are accomplished, who are successful women, if they talk about it at that peak of their success, is it that they have carried this all their lives and they realize that time has come for them to speak? Or is it some other trigger?
Yes. I think we just, we as women, we negotiate through all these prejudices. Sometimes we ignore because it just saps our energy. Sometimes we let it pass. There are slurs, there is sexism all around us all the time. So it's not something new. And once in a while we snap. We just say, okay, now that's enough. Maybe, maybe Sharda ji just had enough of it. And I was hearing the conversation, and Tavleen ji, I don't mean to, maybe I didn't hear the earlier part, but you were saying, how do women still go to that position if they were being discriminated? The fact is, we do it despite that. It's not that, because if we were discriminated, how have we managed to be, and how have I managed to be an actor? I don't even put a sunscreen, even though everyone thinks that one must, So I think we do it despite that. And I mean, even dark is beautiful and black is beautiful. Just this burden of beauty, I think we've had enough of it. All of us here are more than what we look like, and it's time that we define ourselves and each other with more with the things that we want to do, our interests, our dreams, our capabilities, and all of that. instead of ageism and colorism and all these isms that we have normalized. I think what's scary is the normalization. I have umpteen stories of how little children, 3, 4, 5-year-old children, are teased by their friends, are told by their parents or uncles and aunts, and slowly they chip away their confidence. So it's not something that we should take too lightly.
So let's look for affirmative action. What are your thoughts on this, Nandita Das?
But also patriarchy impacts women as much as it impacts men. It's not a men versus women fight. I mean, we also are deeply conditioned by that same patriarchy to take the shorter end of the stick. So it's not this whole thing about why is woman औरत ही औरत की दुश्मन होती है, why are women raising such boys? All of this is also because we as women have also internalized, and yes, it's a cliche, but it's also, cliches are cliches because there's a kernel of truth too. So anyway, I don't want to get into a, sort of trivialize the debate, but there is affirmative action. In fact, because of this campaign, Dark is Beautiful, the what's it called, ASCI, the Advertising Council, they did have stricter guidelines as to how you can really advertise products. I mean, some of it is superficial, but you have to begin somewhere. Like we have laws, you can't dismiss them even if the laws are not always implemented. And finally, of course, it boils down to mindset. But even for that, you need stricter guidelines. And those guidelines, those inclusion riders need to be in films, in OTT web series, in maybe newsrooms, everywhere. It's only simultaneity of many different steps in the right direction, then we will see some visible change. So it's not that there is nothing that's happening. The fact we are even talking about it is a step in the right direction. But we are so slow in making any of this change because we are so busy sort of talking about things that actually don't even impact human beings like us, So this is just one of the various, and somebody did say on the panel that this is not just one, that, we discriminate at the drop of a hat and for various reasons. So we are fighting so many different battles. And when you're a woman, you're fighting sort of layers. If you're a lower caste, dark woman, then it's a triple whammy, So it's like layers of battles that you're constantly fighting. So we all have to do our bit, I guess, where a lawyer does what they do. You as an anchor are doing what you can. And as a journalist, Tableen Singh, I'm sure, is doing. And I, so we all have to just keep doing and keep being at it. And and hopefully see the change in our lifetime. Looks difficult.
Yes, but Nandita, since you're talking about it, and so, when you started the campaign to now, what has really changed?
I didn't start it, I just supported it. But what has changed, I think the fact that many more people are talking about it. In 2013, imagine, I thought, really, does it really need so much conversation? Whereas, because I was working on gender issues, on abuse, whether it's sexual abuse, domestic violence, female feticide, dowry, there are 100 other things that seemed bigger and are bigger, probably, but I'm not competing with those various issues because they all are important. And it's in 2013, I think this campaign did have its role to play in bringing this conversation. I don't think I used the word colorism before that. It was something that you read once in a while, but it wasn't something that you actually actively talk about. I was on NDTV on We the People when there was this whole conversation about colorism. So
we have learned to live with it. Are we to believe that way?
Like everything else. But that doesn't mean we become fatalistic. That doesn't mean we just say that there is, therefore now that the beast is so big, let's not do anything about it. That would be for the lazy. I'm not a cynic. I'm an optimist. I want to believe that all of us, in fact, need to do more. We can do more. We all need to. If you see this kind of a discrimination, call it out. Not just because it happens to you or your child or somebody in your family, but if you truly believe that any form of discrimination is something that you want to fight against, that you believe in a certain equality, you believe in equal opportunities, you believe that our identities, that we all have multiple identities and that we don't have to be boxed in those given identities that we are born in, then speak up, which we all have to do.